but I'm asking for all of us. How do we sort of understand where we are on this health journey? I guess maybe like get a baseline for ourselves. And what does kind of adjusting day to day look like in real life, not in the books and the blogs, but like I wake up every morning. How do we do these types of things in real life?
Yeah, for sure. So the reason, honestly, that most plans don't work, I kind of alluded to it before, was that they're not flexible, right? This concept
Mhm.
of consistency and not being flexible to stay with it, right? And so, I work with all of my clients to establish kind of a baseline for what they can still do even on, days that things are hard. And so it can be something so small and they can continue to be able to do it moving forward. The important thing here is to know what that baseline might look like for you. So before you actually have that hard day, because um, when you're in the middle of it, your brain is too overwhelmed with everything else. It's not going to think about this baseline. And so then it would, after you kind of establish that baseline, even if it's something so simple as having a sip of water, the important thing is to do it with actual intention, because when you do it with intention, you are getting the control back instead of the food having control over you. The same thing can go for, if you're working on, adding in more movement, just a simple, okay, I put my tennis shoes on and that's all I can do today. And being like, okay, I am still doing it with intention and I still have control over the situation. Um, and I think that that's really important, especially for those of us who are in this state of grieving and, at a time when maybe something has happened, to kind of bring it all back to the forefront, right? And so even on those hard days, being able to do it with intention, even if it's not the big grandiose step that you think that you need to be making, because that's what all of the plans all say. And really setting those minimums. And it can be something so small. I've given several examples already, but some others could be simply just eating one small bite of fruit or vegetable, um, taking a mindful pause, even if it literally is, for 3 seconds, because sometimes that is literally all we have. And so, but being able to do it with intention gives you that control back. And then, kind of after that time, or well, even in the course of it, like what you're asking yourself, what feels doable today? If the only thing that feels doable today is simply having a sip of water, that's okay. Um, and then kind of considering like what might drain me. Like if having a whole glass of water is too much for you, then don't do that, because your body's still trying to do all of this other stuff. And so having kind of this like in between these two, like a cup of water versus a sip of water, and just doing something in between those two. Um,
I
and
love that
what's
you kind of
really
have a small goal and a big goal.